the governor of South Dakota says, I'm going to veto this bill that says if you identify as transgender or not, you still have to use the bathroom or the locker room of your actual biological nature. So if you're a biological male, you've got to use the men's bathroom, the boys' bathroom, the men's locker room, the boys' locker room. You can't use the ladies' locker room, the girls' bathroom. You can't do that. We just want to make sure that we don't unnecessarily expose others to problems, etc., and then open the door for potential heterosexual predators to use these kinds of laws to get in, as has been documented. This happened in America and other countries. The governor says, no, there's not a need for this. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. There is a need for this. In cities across America, there is a push to get bills passed, and in schools across America, and with the encouragement of the Obama government, there is a push to say that if a kid, a boy 6 years old, identifies as a girl, he can use the girls' room. And if a man 20 years old at the local gym, it's a public facility, identifies as a woman, he can go in and sit in the girls' locker room when the ladies come out of the showers and the ladies are changing, and there's nothing you can do about it. That is absolutely outrageous. Of course, bills like this are needed. Yeah, my heart goes out to those who identify as transgender and struggle with these things, but you don't impose your struggles on all of society. I was teaching a class and talking about some of these sensitive issues just last night and telling my students how far it goes, and they were shocked to hear about gender fluid and gender bender and gender swirl and ambigender and gender fuzz and every kind of name and multiple genders, and Facebook gives you 50 ways to identify your gender, including 10 at the same time, and if that's not enough, then there's fill in the blank. Friends, this is social madness. You've got a guy going into Seattle just a few weeks ago. He goes into a pool locker room. He's a male, begins to take his shirt off in the ladies' room. Hey, if he identifies as a woman, why not? The laws have changed. That's what he said. Then a mother wrote to me and said, I'm at the local YMCA. My daughter's in there. She comes out of the shower. She's a young gal. She comes out of the shower with a towel wrapped around her, and there's a male. They're just sitting there going through his cell phone in their bathroom, in their locker room. Well, why not? Schools across America are doing this. And this is supposedly the enlightened, progressive thing to do. Friends, this is social madness. Now listen to what the superintendent of schools in South Dakota had to say about this bill and why he felt, Brian Maher, why he felt it wasn't necessary.
My biggest angst through the whole thing was that the bill is unnecessary in our public school system. I don't believe that the bill would have helped us work with students, transgender or otherwise.
All right. You may have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 out of 1,000 who identify as transgender. Have compassion on them, but don't put their struggles on the whole school. So I was giving a talk at a local high school a few weeks ago, and when I went in, I had to stop at a restroom, and as I was leaving the restroom, a bunch of little boys came in. I must have been in the elementary wing of the school. These little kids, I mean, there must have been 6, 7-year-old boys, and I thought, you don't want to traumatize kids like that. Why is a girl in my bathroom? Yesterday she was Jane, today she's Joey. I don't understand. And what about the little girls in their bathroom? Why is Joey in our bathroom? Why is Joey wearing a dress? Have compassion on the kids, but don't turn the world upside down. Governor of South Dakota, you failed your people. You made a mistake. Do the right thing. Let's continue to pray for transgender identified people to find wholeness from the inside out, but do not impose their struggles on the rest of society. Please.